The moon hung low, a pale eye watching. St. Gideon's chapel was a ruin of shadows and whispers. Ivy crawled like grasping fingers across the crumbling stone. The iron gate groaned, a mournful, rusty lament. The air hung heavy and damp with the scent of earth and time and something else. Something ancient and cold. Broken headstones stood like crooked teeth, each one a forgotten name, a life swallowed by the earth. The path was lost beneath weeds and moss. It led to the chapel. Its windows were dark, gaping holes like empty sockets. Above the entrance, stone statues kept their silent vigil, forgotten guardians, frozen in eternal torment. Evelyn adjusted her camera. A scoff escaped her lips. Foolish local legends, cursed statues. She would debunk this nonsense. Her documentary would expose the truth. Superstition was the enemy of reason. She had heard the stories, whispers of the forgotten guardians, statues that came to life under the moon's light, protecting the graveyard from those who dared disturb its slumber. Absurd. Evelyn stepped closer to the statues. Their faces were weathered smooth by time, expressions lost to the erosion, except for their eyes. Those remained, deep, unsettling pits that seemed to follow her movements. A shiver ran down her spine. Just a trick of the moonlight. She had to admit this place had an atmosphere, but fear was a weakness. She would not fall prey to it. The silence of the graveyard was broken only by the rustling of leaves. Evelyn moved among the graves, her camera capturing everything. The stillness was unnerving, oppressive. She paused by a particularly large statue, a robed figure, its hands clasped in prayer. Or was it? As she watched, the statue seemed to shift, the hands unclasped, fingers curling into claws. Evelyn blinked. It must be a trick of the light. But doubt had taken root in her mind. The air grew colder. A low hum vibrated through the ground. She glanced back at the statue. Its eyes glowed with an eerie internal light. A whisper carried on the wind. Words ancient and chilling. "You should not be here." Evelyn spun around, searching for the source of the voice. There was no one there. Panic began to rise in her chest. This was not right. This was not natural. The statues were no longer still. They moved with a slow, deliberate grace, stepping down from their pedestals, their stone limbs creaking like breaking bones. Their eyes burned with cold fire. Evelyn stumbled back, her camera clattering to the ground. She turned to run, but the path was blocked. More statues. Their faces contorted in silent screams. They advanced, their shadows stretching long and menacing in the moonlight. There was nowhere to go. Evelyn was trapped. Terror lent her a burst of strength. She pushed past a statue, its cold stones scraping against her skin. But there were too many. They closed in, their stone fingers reaching for her. The last thing she saw was the moon, hidden behind the clouds, then darkness. When the moon emerged again, it illuminated a chilling sight. A new statue stood among the forgotten guardians. A young woman, her face frozen in a mask of eternal terror. Evelyn had joined the ranks, a prisoner of the graveyard's eternal night.